I was wearing a different shirt.
Texas, huh? Texas.
Yeah, well.
We're on the air.
So this time I get to see you in Los Angeles for a change.
Yeah.
Although we love having you in Texas.
Oh, we love being in Texas.
We love being had in Texas.
Yeah.
You've been had in Texas,
Oh, yeah.
haven't you?
Many times.
Cost you a lot of money, didn't it?
Yeah, eventually.
Hey, talking about Nice Dreams, your new movie, third one. Tommy, you directed again. You both wrote the script.
Yep.
You know, I wonder about that. You guys have been together now how many years?
12.
12 years. Yeah, 13-year-old daughter, 12 years. That's how I tell them.
And working together so closely and
know.
creatively, do you ever get at odds with one another where you don't speak for a while?
Not Cheech and Chong.
Oh, come on.
No.
Really?
Yeah, some-
Tommy's
yeah.
saying, uh-huh.
No, we get along just great, don't we, Tommy?
Yeah. And it's been brewing from the last picture that I directed, because I kept being taken away from Cheech, you know. And so that's why the next movie we're going to do, we're going to get a director in to direct, because now we got the confidence, you know, we can do that. But yeah, but the thing is, the Cheech and Chong, there's so much love, and we've gone through so much together that, I mean, I don't think there's anything that could really split us up, you know. There's, we're just too smart for that.
Cheech, has there ever been a time, though, when you thought, oh, we've just been doing this too long and we need to each go our separate ways? Because most teams do go through that.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure. Kind of this picture we did that, but it was kind of like we just took vacations. Because, you know, what happens is you build up a workload. You've been working for so long, and all you need is, oh hey, a breather. That's what we just took a breather. Oh yeah, it's cool.
Usually the last people that we attack is each other.
Yeah.
Because usually, by the time you get through the wives and kids and critics and, and studio heads and so on, you know, the only people you got is each other, you know?
Yeah.
So we've been lucky. We've been very lucky. The thing is, though, see, we're not manufactured. We chose each other because we had nothing. We tried everything else apart. And so when we met each other and the chemistry was there, we realized the enormous, you know, thing about the only comedy team around for years.
Yeah. It's like a marriage, you know, it goes through those periods where, God, I can't stand that person more, or God, I love that person more than anything in the world, you know, and you ride those waves, you know, and it comes out okay, you know.
When I directing halfway through this picture, you know, I was directing, feeling really good about it, and I thought, you know, I started getting offers to direct other things, you know, and so I started getting a little bit of a swelled head, you know, director, you know, everybody's coming up to you, and then after, but giving it some real serious thought, you know, you realize that they're only nice to you because you control their paycheck, you know, and that your real friends are the ones you start off with, you know, because they were there when there was nothing. And when you look around and see how many would be there if there was nothing, there's only one guy, and that'd be Cheech, you see, and so I realized, and then plus the studio heads like Frank Price and John Beach, when I started talking to them about other projects, they said, yeah, sure, as soon as Cheech and Chong's finished with, you know. He said, but right now, you got Cheech and Chong, and that's all you need to worry about.
Yeah.
Cheech, do you see a time when you all might make a movie that didn't have anything to do with the drug culture?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we're getting away from it a little bit more and more, and we'll progress. So it's like seasoning, you know. Some dishes you use a lot of oregano in it. Some you don't, only a little bit, you know. Some not at all.
But then in this movie, you've gone farther with drugs than you ever have before, because there's cocaine, Quaaludes.
We make distinctions between drugs in this movie, which we didn't in other movies.
What do you mean?
We made a distinction between grass and cocaine and those other things, you know. There's some, we said that there were some good drugs and some bad drugs, and the bad drugs can lead you into
Well, not even
nice
so
dreams
much,
and the nightmares.
not even so much good drugs. We said there are some drugs that are not as bad as others. What we pointed up, if anybody cares to see, is the enormous profit that you can make off grass, number one, and how you can lose it all through coke, number two, which is a story of any druggie's world, you know. And so we try to make that distinction. But I think in the future, and even with this movie, the best parts are the non-drug related parts. And we've seen the glimmer. And we're going to continue with that, you know, because I found out, and people have pointed it out to me many times, you know, people wiser than me, they said that Cheech and Chong are bigger than drugs. And I believe it, finally believe it for, you know, for it to be a fact, because I see it.
And we'll develop that side more and more. Now that we're just concentrating on us being a comedy team rather than us be film makers, you'll see that more and more.
Do you have some serious dopers, if I may use that term? I don't know really what I'm saying. But anyway, do you have some real dopers who come up to you guys or let you know that you really give drugs a bad name?
They're usually not coherent enough to get that together. You know, no, usually not.
Do you have real drugs on the set, like the marijuana plants?
No, no.
Oh, we never.
They're not
did
the real
Cheech
thing?
and
What are
Chong.
they?
No,
They're fake. They're near dope.
Hey,
They're what?
Answer for me. No habla inglés.
Come on, those were real marijuana
No, they
plants.
weren't. Actually, Columbia Pictures, the prop department made them.
yeah.
Well, under our careful supervision, but they're a conglomeration.
They had to have a model to go by, a real
well, the
model to
pictures
go
out
by.
of High Times and stuff like that, you know, Buds and Sesame Buds.
Well, we
kinda-
found people in the crew that were sort of
Yeah.
familiar with the drug
that had done
culture.
extensive field studies
Yes.
in their backyard.
Yes, and we had no problem getting the drugs. It was quite easy.
But are you ever concerned, and I'm serious now, are you ever concerned that the set could be busted? Has any
No.
Hollywood set ever been busted?
No,
We
but-
all know they have drugs on Hollywood
No,
sets.
because
We
there's
know
too
that.
much money involved. You know, the
Yeah.
cops that we
We make
have
the cops
hired,
hold it.
Yeah, the police
Really?
that guard the police that guard the set. You know, we say, okay, watch this grass.
Okay, here,
Don't let anybody.
hold this, then don't let anybody, you know.
Take
Okay,
it.
I'm a cop.
Yeah, no, there's too much involved. Anyway, like I say, the drug thing is almost passé. I mean, we got stopped at the border going to Canada, and I had a joint in my suitcase, which I forgot I had. What happened, my wife thought she was being real brilliant and put it away for me. And I packed it. It was in a pen case. And the guy at the border said, hey, check these guys out. I know them from somewhere. And so
Yeah.
they checked us out and found this joint. And the cop goes, big deal, one joint.
I'm being a real wise guy, you know. And he opens it up.
And we thought we had it, but the cop didn't want to have the reputation of being the one to bust Cheech and Chong for one joint.
Like I shot Jesse James, man, you know.
So they said, get out of here. And we said, can we have the joint? Get out of here.
Another thing you have in this movie is nudity.
Yeah.
Horrors, nudity, Cheech and Chong.
Well, if you got it, flaunt it, you know what I'm saying?
But it's the first time you've ever done that in a film.
Well, in the film, yeah.
Yes. Well, I assume you...
That's
Yeah.
a true scene, him hanging on the elevator. you know.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Uh-huh.
You didn't have a stunt double?
For part of it I did, yeah. But then part of it I didn't.
Well, now, was that a difficult thing to get out there in the buffalo?
No,
and do
you
this?
just sit there and sock him back in the bar, man. You go anywhere, you know. It was
What
great.
when I was, going underneath the bed with the towel and everything, well, I was directing, and I forgot I was nude. So I'm walking out as a director. Yeah, I'll move the camera over here and let's try this. And people would come on the set and they see this nude, bearded wonder walking around telling people what to do. It was
Demanding more money.
It was weird. You forget you're nude very easy,
Yeah.
very fast. It
Yeah.
becomes.
If it works for the part that we're playing, yes.
Well, for instance, we could get nude right now. It wouldn't bother anybody.
I'm
Say,
not going to say a thing. We have editors who can take care of that. And we have editors who can leave it in if they like.
I'm going to back up the lens a little bit. We're going to...
Get a wide shot.
You know, you guys, you have this wild image on screen,
Mhm.
but, when we sit and just talk as people, you're fairly close to establishment. You're certainly capitalists, we can say that.
Well, yeah, I think it's been forced upon us.
Yeah.
You don't like it, Cheech?
Oh, I hate it, living in a nice house
Well,
in
he
Malibu
tried to give
on
all
the beach.
He
Really
tried to give all his
torture.
money away to poor people, but he got
Yeah.
tired after a while.
So I established this fund called Relatives. And it takes care of all my money.
Just give it to relatives.
Yeah, I just launder it that way.
Yeah, and what's left over Uncle Sam gets?
There's nothing left over.
Tommy, when you all first made it big, I mean with your first real money, had to be records, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Did you indulge yourself in something just to say, hey, I'm rich and now I'm going to
I
have this?
sure did.
What?
A car. I bought my first brand new car I've ever owned in my life, and I still got it.
What is it?
It's a 72 Citroen.
Hmm.
Citroen. And then after that, it became academic. You know, it's just people don't understand it. Of course, the ones that don't have it, you know, I mean, it's hard for them to relate that money becomes very unimportant. But it does to
After the first couple, 3 or 4 million.
Yeah.
What did you indulge yourself in?
A wife.
Yeah, I went and bought a wife.
Opened his wallet and there she was.
No, I bought all my family houses and cars.
Yeah.
Basically, that's the truth. With that from the relatives, they all needed that, so I had a lot of relatives and a lot of cars, and that's what I did, basically.
Here in California?
Yeah.
And we made a lot of investments that we never seen.
Yeah.
That was a bummer, you know. Give us your money. Oh, apartment buildings and shopping centers and all that crap. But there's no thrill there because you never seen it. You got to, thing at the end. The money thing is very, like I say, it's incidental to what we do. You know, and the thing, I'll tell you, the good thing about it is that we get to travel.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the one we indulge ourselves.
We love that. You know, being able to take off to Hawaii without planning 3 years ahead, you know, it's a thrill.
Yeah. I really like to travel, so that's why. Pack up my family, we go.
So you have one child,
Little daughter.
and you have 5.
Yeah.
He loaned me one of his.
Yes, Hertz rent a kid, doesn't he?
Yeah.
With 5, he could do that. Hey, I want to thank you guys for talking with us today.
Thank you, Bobbie.
And I hope you get back to Dallas one of these times.
Oh, we will eventually.
Yes.
All right. Are you doing any concert appearances at all anymore?
No, we might be
Nada.
doing a lecture tour.
Lecture?
Mm-hmm.
On what?
On lectures.
Lecturing on lectures.
Lecturing
the abuse
on
of movies.
how to make it without a high school education.
Or earn while you lean.
Neither one of you have high school education?
I do.
You have high. You went to college.
I went to
didn't you?
college too.
Yeah.
College degree.
College.
Yeah.
That was during the war. He couldn't get out of college.
Yeah, I couldn't get out.
But how about you, Tommy?
No, I had to quit early and support a family that I started.
That's 5 kids, you know what I mean?
No, I never made it through high school. Canadian high school is different, you know. It's much
Kind of
different.
like junior college, isn't it?
It's tough. No, Canadians are very serious about what they do, you know, and they tell you right in front, you know, you're not going to make it through high school, buddy. And so I joined the workforce. But I think it made me a better person because now I know what it's really like to be poor. That makes my, success a lot more easier to take, more enjoyable too.
Hey, good luck to you both.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Bobbie.
Bobbie.
Good seeing you again.
And cut. If you hold still, we'll get some inserts for you, Bobbie.
Okay, I tell you what, if you would, get Cheech listening and look at him and just listen. Just hold still now and look at him. Okay, now the same with Tommy listening and looking at Cheech. Just look at him. See, I get to be director this time.
Bobbie, if you just turn the chair a little this way, we get some of these.
Yeah. You got different background there? Okay. All right. Yeah, okay.
Any questions?
Yes, we'll do a couple of reactions first.
Keep reacting to a plane passes.
How long have you had that red dress, Bobbie? Is that your real name, Bobbie Wygant? And what part do you play in Dallas?
Yeah, what's that rumor about you and the Dallas Cowboys? Huh?
Yeah, Bobbie. Who really shot JR?
All right, questions. All right. Okay. In this movie, you're dealing with harder drugs. You have cocaine, references to quaaludes, and all. A lot of people are going to be on your neck for that. Do serious dopers ever come up to you and say, hey, you wackos give drugs a bad name? Now, in this movie, you both have to do nude scenes. Were you uncomfortable doing that?
Oh, yeah.
On the set, do you have real drugs? Oh, come on now. There's got to be real marijuana. Oh. Do you ever worry that the set is going to be busted? Cheech, do you see the time when you'll do a comedy that is not based on the drug culture? Let's see, you all have worked together how many years now? Do you ever get on one another's nerves to the point where you get mad and you don't speak to one another for a while? Has there ever been a time when you wanted to, has there ever been a time when you wanted to split and each go your separate ways? All right. I think that'll do it. That'll do it. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Driving me
Okay.
crazy. I can't
Okay.
remember.
Wait, let me see what you can like that?
How's it look? Hope I don't fall asleep. I'm so sleepy.
And, okay, Bobbie.
Evelyn, I suppose that the first thing everybody wants to know from you is, what's a nice girl like you doing running around in movies with Cheech and Chong?
Oh, just having a ball. What can I say? I just love working with them. They are marvelous and the chemistry works and we love making people laugh.
When they're not on and not performing, how do you find them? If you had to say, well, Cheech is like this and Tommy's like that, what would you say?
I think they're just two wild and crazy guys. You know, they've been friends for so many years and they work well together that I just, I mean, it's never a dull moment around them, I've got to tell you. It's just, I love them both. You know, they both have their little differences, but I love them both equally.
Yes, in doing the interview with them, they admitted that there are times, like with anybody, it's like a marriage, as they said, you know.
Mhm.
You get times when you get on one another's nerves, and you got to put a little space between you. Well, what does that do, though, for, you're caught in the middle, let's say. Well, how do you deal with that?
You mean on a personal level? Or?
Yeah, if they're at outs about something, and you're caught right in the middle, and you don't want to side with one or the other, what do you do?
I don't know because I've never been in that situation. I've never seen the two of them argue. I have never been caught in the middle, so I don't know how I would react. I guess I would try to see that the two of them are happy and find a happy medium somewhere, you know. But I've never been caught up in that situation, so I couldn't really answer it. They get along so wonderfully, which is one of the reasons why I think they're going to outlast any comedic team because of that.
Would you be content, Evelyn, to go on doing every film that they do if they offer you a role?
Oh yes, absolutely.
You would never turn them down?
No. If I'm busy doing another film, I'd have no choice. But I would not turn them down, and I don't feel that it's going to typecast me either, because I've had other offers that are not just the cheesecake little Donna character. You know, they're serious roles that are coming up, and I'm very fortunate, I think, because I think a lot of women have been typecast in the past that have done what I've done. But I would not turn them down. No.
So for you, it's just a great experience as far as personal relationship and a work relationship. Huh?
Oh yes, yes. I love working with them. I've never been so relaxed and had such an easy feeling with these two guys as I do, and they're just wonderful. I mean, first of all, I've never worked the way they work. You know, as you know, the films are usually all improvisational, and to work without a script is just a challenge for me. You know, and it just works so well. It's amazing how things happen, and a lot of the good scenes come out by accident. It's
Okay.
just amazing.
Well, thanks for talking with us, Evelyn.
Thank
Enjoyed
you.
it.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Keep rolling for a second. Bobbie, could you wrap it up again?
Oh, okay. Well, Evelyn, good luck to you. Enjoyed talking with you here in Los Angeles.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Have nice dreams.
I will. You too.
And cut. Any of those close-ups you did